Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, are we still up and about? Okay pa po ba tayo? Yeah, okay, that's good, that's good. I feel the energy and also, once again, I'm honored to be in the stage representing Sterling International Consulting. And what we want to talk about in this last session is actually appropriate, no? Saktong-sakto siya para sa inyo na nagsa-start ng inyong mga business. Our topic for this afternoon would be future-proofing your business. So, everything that we have learned so far, lahat ng mga bagay po na napag-usapan natin from day 1 and day 2, so, ano po yung gagawin natin? What is our approach moving forward, right? Let's go ahead and see what would be our topics for this afternoon. First thing that we want to look at as a business or as entrepreneurs is yung current economic context. What are the opportunities, the challenges that we see in our economy here in the Philippines? Number 2, as small and medium enterprises and also entrepreneurs, ano kaya yung mga pain points natin, right? Do we have all pain points when we start our business? Would you agree? And also, what could be the gaps that we need to fill in as business owners? Number 3, how about the international standards? Let's talk how the standards will drive SME competitiveness, especially dito po sa ating Philippine setting. Pang-apat po ay i-navigate din natin yung change. Ano naman po yung mga practical insights and examples of those organizations that adapt these standards. Last is, let's look at what would be our recommendation. As an expert in future-proofing your business, what could be our strategic plans and recommendations? Let's look at just an overview of the Philippine landscape, right? Still, after the pandemic, we are a resilient country. Would you agree? We're still a resilient country. And the backbone of this resiliency is the SMEs, right? So, who is the backbone? It is you, the business owners, the small and medium enterprise business owners. At may mga major sectors that is really thriving in this economy. The services, manufacturing, BPO, and IT-related services, and the retail and trade sectors. And let's look at it in this perspective as well. We, as SMEs, we generate 60% of the employment of the country. That's a huge number to look at. Now, let's look at the pain points, right? And ito po makaka-relate tayo lahat, hindi po ba? We will relate to this as business owners. What are the pain points of SMEs? Unang-una, limited yung access natin, right? Anong ibig sabihin natin when we say limited access? Because sometimes, bigger companies and multinational companies ask for certification. Would you agree? Tinitingnan nila, sino ba kayo so that we can be able to work with you, right? At the same time, compliance gaps. As SMEs, we're still learning, right? We are still learning what are the things that we need to comply with as small and medium business owners, right? The other thing is operational inefficiencies from lack of process standardization. Alam nyo ba, in a way in the Philippines, maganda pakinggan yung word na diskarte, right? Maganda siya pakinggan. But in the long term, it is not sustainable. One of the things that hinder us from getting bigger clients, having efficient processes, is yung hindi natin nasa-standardize yung mga bagay sa organization natin. Napansin nyo ba na when you do things in your organization, paiba-iba siya. Every now and then, iba-iba yung nangyayari, right? Even though, inutos mo na ganito, I want this to happen. This is how we do it. Pero, pag in-investigate mo, iba ginawa, right? No standardization. Another is reactive risk management practice. Let me ask you, business owners, do you know what are the risks of your business? And what happens, especially in the Philippine setting, ang nangyayari, we only react to the risks when it already happened. No? Kapag nangyayari na siya, dun lang tayo nagre-react. But the best practices come from being able to manage your risk already. I know we don't like to think about negative things. I know we don't like to think, any negative things about our organization, right? But, in the business side of things, kailangan alam mo na ito bago pa siya mangyari. And you manage it. So that you could avoid it when it happens or malesen natin the probability of it happening. Lastly, is that limited scalability. Ano po ba nangyayari? Ito ang napapansin namin with small and medium enterprises. Nagkakaroon ng pagkakataon and there comes a time that our scalability plateaus. Yung growth natin hanggang doon na lang. Right? No more opportunities and wala na po tayong iba pa pong pinatutunguhan bilang company. But let's look at how standards make you break those plateaus, right? Break those barriers for your organization. What are the root causes? And I think everyone will also relate to this. Ano yung root cause of this happening? I'm seeing people smiling already, right? Let's go for the family-owned or founder-dependent management. Why is this a sabihin na natin, hindrance to us as an organization? Because sometimes, as a starting company, it is good. It is a good practice, right? We celebrate families who are successful in their businesses. We celebrate you who work so hard for your business. But what happens is, nangyayari, nagkakaroon po ng limits on how we can produce efficient processes. What happens is, yung ganitong modelo, this kind of model, is not sustainable in the future. How about if yung founder is wala, nakabakasyon siya, if yung may-ari is, sabihin na natin, nagkaroon ng medical and health na mga na problems, right? Napipilay. Right? Nagkakaroon ng handicap. There is handicaps happen sa organization. Would you agree? And then, informal decision-making and limited delegation. How many times have we heard delegate? Delegate, right? And what happens is in this kind of model, yung family-owned and yung founder-dependent managed is we don't delegate, nalilimit yung pagde-delegate ng duties. At the same time, decision-making would be informal. Let's say it in this way, verbal na lang. Please do this, please do that. At the same time, inadequate din yung risk-based approaches and quality assurance. What happens is we don't think about the risks. We'll just let it happen. We don't even manage risks. And also, resistance or unfamiliarity with international standards and best practices. Here is one thing that we have observed in the Philippine setting, especially with small and medium enterprises. We are not aware that there are standards. We are not aware that in our organization, meron pa pala na pwedeng ikaganda ang ating organisasyon. Right? Let's go with what happens, right? Lost opportunities without standards adoption. you will miss large-scale and domestic contracts. Kasi maghahanap sila, they will look for other companies, other organizations that would have standards placed in their company, right? Second, there is restricted supplier accreditation opportunities. Have you observed if you want to work with a bigger company? Kung gusto niyo makipagtrabaho sa isang mas malaking organisasyon, they will give you a piece of paper, right? Nakalagay doon sa piece of paper na yon a question. It's a small question but very significant. It will ask you, as an organization na gusto makipagtrabaho sa kanila, are you an ISO accredited company? And that hinders you from working from them. That's already a barrier right there. Third, reduced competitiveness in the global market. Of course, we cannot break through those gaps, those barriers. Why are standards essential? Let me convince you why standards are essential. First thing, credibility with multinational corporations. It gives you credibility to multinational corporations. They will trust you, right? Trust is so important in business. Would you agree? Can you repeat that with me? Trust is important in business. Second, consistent operational excellence and service quality. This is the success of standards. If you own one business as of now, and of course, I know you will grow it to another branch, what happens is, you can be consistent from your main office, the same things that made that office successful, that made that branch successful, would be the same thing to your new branch. Because you have standardized processes. Third, you enhance your risk management systems. It ensures na kayo bilang mga organization ay magiging resilient even through pandemics. How about the standards that we are talking about? There are a couple of standards that are so popular and in demand in today's market. ISO 9001, Quality Management System. 27001, which is the Information Security Management System. 45001 and 14001, which is the Occupational Health, Safety and Environment. Food safety, and also data protection for BPO and IT sectors, the PCI, DSS, and SOC 2. Now, if you look at these things, masasabi niyo, wait a minute, I think this is applicable to me as a company, as an organization. And these standards are actually existing. It is not just made aware to us, but they are existing. Ano nangyayari? We achieve competitive edge through certification. You increase your market share and brand differentiation. Let me call you this. When you are compliant to standards, when you get ISO certification, you are set apart. Can you tell that to yourself? I am set apart. Kakaiba ka. You have a competitive edge. Higher customer acquisition and retention. I know this is very difficult, right? Very difficult. But, ang nangyayari kasi sa Philippine market, hindi natin na-assess na talaga bang cost-wise lang yung hindi nila remain sa'yo as an organization or as a business partner? Is it really just cost? Maybe there's something else. And the standards help you identify that. Number 3, improved efficiency leading to reduced costs and higher margins. People will say, well, I think going through an ISO project initiative and endeavor, that's expensive. But let me ask you this. Have you invested even once in your life? Have you invested in people? Have you invested in your equipment? Why not invest in standardizing your organization? Next, as Sterling and in Sterling International Consulting, it is already an industry leader. 55 countries and 100% certification rate. 7,600 successful certification across these countries. We have proven methods already that is tailored for Philippine SMEs. Let me explain it this way. Bilang kapwa Pilipino, alam namin kung ano ang kinakailangan ninyo bilang isang organisasyon. At kapag kami ay nakikipag-usap sa inyo, nauunawaan din po namin na ito ang mga kailangan namin gawin at mga adjustments na kailangan namin i-apply sa inyo bilang isang organisasyon. At nauunawaan din namin yung konteksto natin bilang mga manggagawa at bilang mga may-ari po ng ating mga organisasyon. We tailor our approach according to the people that we are helping. Pangatlo, we already have integrated solution. And this is something that I want you to understand. We are already in a digital age. Now, ISO before, it's all about sabihin natin, naku, maraming papel yan. That's a lot of papers. But let me tell you that we have developed a way for its automation already. It's the software that we use is already there. Certification is now simple. Right? Can we repeat that to ourselves? Certification is now simple. There are misconceptions, a lot of misconceptions regarding adopting these international standards. Sabihin natin, a perception of, nako, high cost yan. It is so complex. But we underestimate yung benefits nito sa atin bilang isang organisasyon. At also, we view yung certification na parang badge lang siya. No? And hindi natin siya iniisip as a business growth tool. We have to think that way, that certification and the standards are a business growth tool. Ano po yung mga benefits sa inyo? So, what is it for me as a business owner? What is it for me as a small and medium enterprise? We streamline your operations and lower operating cost. It works like magic. Akala natin, in the long term, gumastos tayo ng malaki, that's it. But in the long term, when you get the data, kapag bumalik na sa inyo yung study ninyo in your organization, you'd be surprised, nakakamura pa pala kayo. Because yung inyong processes become efficient. Efficiency is the key. Enhance market credibility and branding. Kasi nakakapasok na kayo and you're working with companies that also adapt these standards. Pangatlo, improve resilience and adaptability. Ibig sabihin yung organization nyo nagiging sigurado that it can adapt and retain. And you would be able to retain your business. And last, increase customer satisfaction and retention. What are the other things that we want to understand about standards? Actually, the standards, it provides you with a clear framework about quality, the resilience of your organization, sustainability, and safety. And also, it has a straightforward implementation process. Akala natin sobrang komplikado niya, but actually, it is a straightforward implementation. At last, eto, lagi ko po ito naririnig. Nako, yung ISO, pang malalaking kumpanya lang yan. Yeah, who is guilty of saying that? There you go. Right? But no. Would you believe a small company can be ISO certified? Yes. We have those experience. Maliit na kumpanya, kayang-kaya. Because it is so flexible. And it is accessible for all organizations, regardless of your size. Let's dive deeply in few standards po that is very popular in the market. ISO 9001. You see this a lot, right? Quality Management System. What is it about? It focuses you on a customer-driven process. Pangalawa, it lets you continually improve yung mga bagay regarding your processes, regarding your organization. And last, it provides you with proven operational efficiency. It is an international standard for a reason. How about this two? 14001 and 45001. The occupational health and safety standards and the environmental management systems. It enhances workplace safety. If yung organization natin, no, ay merong hard labor na type ng business yung hawak natin, how do you manage, how do you provide safe working places or a safe working place to your employees? So the construction business, marami pong applications yan. 14001, how about environmental management system? Do you care for the environment? Are you an organization that is sustainable in terms of in its environmental management system? You go for that. You ensure environmental sustainability for your organization. How about this one? 27001, the Information Security Management System. We cannot deny we are living in a digital age where information is so important. Information security allows us to protect the confidentiality, the integrity, and also availability of information. This will provide you with data frameworks, data protection frameworks, and increased customer trust and confidence. That is why, alam ninyo, napaka-popular po ng standard na to sa mga BPO industries. And also for IT-related services. Dahil ang dami nilang data and information that na kinakailangan nilang protektahan. And minsan pa, just a side note, this is becoming a mandatory standard for many industries. Nagiging mandatory na siya. It's getting there. How about this? 22,000. The food standard, the food safety standards. It provides transparency sa ating pong food chain. Safe food, free from hazards. And also, ito din yung inyong gateway or ito din po yung kaparaanan para kayo ay makapag-open up globally. Right? Very critical. How about the data protection standards? The HIPAA, PCI DSS, and SOC 2, wherein these are mandatory na po, kung tutuusin, sa maraming organization. Yung pag-protect ng payments, yung ating pag-strengthen ng operational controls in your organization and makes your organization give assurance to your clients for data handling capabilities. Sobrang importante na po ng mga bagay na yan. Let me just give you a case study of a local SME wherein it's a manufacturing company sa Metro Manila. Ang nangyari, of course, before siya magpa-certificate, itong local company na to, may mga struggles siya. There are struggles, really. Limited yung scalability niya, hindi siya maka-break into other markets, hindi siya maka-do business with other organizations. And what happened also, nakita din namin, very inconsistent yung kanilang operation quality. Kasi paiba-iba eh. No? Kada release nila ng produkto, iba yung sistemang nangyari. And also, what happened after? Post-certification transformation, a revenue growth rate of 38%. At naka-reduce pa sila ng customer complaints by 43%. How did we do it? No, paano namin ginawa siya? In-assess muna namin silang mabuti. Tiningnan namin what are the gaps that meron sila bilang organization. At the same time, tiningnan din namin kung ano pa yung kailangan i-improve sa kanila as an organization. It is also led by experts from our side. And eto po, we enable continuous development with them through automation and AI. We have just recently released a VGAM AI, an automated or an artificial intelligence process making AI. And also we use our own software activity, wherein nangyayari paperless na yung atin pong paggawa ng ating documentation and processes. What is ISO certification? What are the opportunities that we have? You get access to international supply chain. You have it as a leverage for your strategic advantage and competitiveness ninyo in the global market. Here is our approach, Sterling's approach for implementation, and we are proud of this. It is easy as 1 to 10, right? We are doing our implementation through these 10 steps. We get you first the awareness training. Ang ginagawa natin, hayaan namin na i-train kayo, ano ba yung ISO standards? Ano ba yung mga requirements na kinakailangan ninyo? We do the business process review and process design. Tinutulungan namin kayo to design your business processes. We do documentation and implementation. This is where, step 5, is where your processes go live. Right? Hayaan nyo itong gumana sa inyong organization. And we do internal audit, management review, pre-assessment reviews, and that's when pwede tayong lumaban for certification audit. And after that, of course, step 10 is success. The issuance of certificates. The real-world impact in Sterling's clients' success stories. Yung isang BPO company na ginawa namin, they had a breakthrough as a startup company. 3 additional international market in 1 year. Meron din kami in a family-owned manufacturing company who took ISO 9001 and an export sector market entry for a food processing company as well. So, what did they do? First thing that they did was creating a culture of excellence. Hinayaan nila na yung standards to be embedded in their culture, organization culture. They fostered accountability and ownership, and also, nag-reward sila. They recognize and reward performance. Sumunod, naging proactive sila in risk management. What happened is, hinayaan po nila na bago pa lang dumating yung risk, they identified it. Hinayaan nila na maunawaan nila how to mitigate and how to create mitigation plans. And then, they continued to monitor, and also, their response to this ay mas mabilis. Kasi nakadokumento na, napagplanuhan na, even before pa ito mangyari. They also did this, that they drove their operational efficiency through standardization. They standardized their process, their workflows, nag-reduce sila ng mga kanila pong mga waste in their processes, and of course, it enhanced their productivity and profitability. Also, they leverage technology for compliance. Ang ginawa nila, gumamit sila ng automated platforms like our own VGAM AI and Effivity. Kasi nandiyan na talaga yung trend eh. We have to use this automated processes in our organization. And last, they did continuous improvement through data-driven. Data-driven po yung continuous improvement nila. Remember dati, ang ginagawa natin, kapag may hindi gumagana na proseso, hinuhulaan lang natin kung ano ba yung problema. Right? We're guessing. But that is not the way to go. The way to go is, you check the data. Why is this things not working properly? Why is this things medyo hindi siya gumagana? Tanggalin natin yung subjectivity. What we get is constructive data. And also, napakahalaga po ng data for your progress as an organization. You leverage analytics to inform your strategic decisions. You strategize and you make steps based on data. Hindi kayo pwede manghula. Ang hirap nun, di ba? Yung huhulaan mo kung saan nagka-problema, ano po yung pinanggagalingan ng problema. And you improve competitive positioning through insights. You look at data and you position yourself through insights. It enhanced also their customer experience through standards. Okay, let me ask you, raise of hands. How many of us here have done customer feedback? Raise your hand. Customer feedback. See? Very few. Right? Yung iba, medyo, hindi ko sure. Medyo nasabihan lang ako ng friend ko na okay naman. Right? But, is it really the way to go? No. You get them concrete data from them. You get concrete feedback. Yung magagandang feedback. Right? What happens is, when you get feedback, you integrate that to your system. Marunong kang tumanggap ng mga lackings mo. Tanggapin ninyo, and then you improve your system through that. What happens is, they strengthen their customer retention and loyalty through the feedback. Hindi ninyo kaaway ang mga kliyente. They are your partners. And also, leadership commitment. They were committed. The leaders were the champions of their own organization. They had a clear vision that they communicated throughout their organization. And last, they drove the culture of standardization from top to bottom in their organization. You achieve sustaining growth through continuous improvement. Ayun ang ginawa nila. They established structured improvement frameworks. They did regular process evaluation and refinements. And they benchmark practices against global standards. Would you agree? The day you stop improving is the day your organization starts to fall. If you don't adapt, sigurado po ako, babagsak po yung business. Certification is a strategic tool. It is a strategic tool. It is your passport to global markets. Hinihingi talaga nila yan. They are looking for it because it proves that you are a credible organization. They will look for it and it becomes your passport. A lot of examples of successful local companies become exporters and expanded globally, starting from a small and medium enterprise. Let me also make you understand that there are emerging trends sa atin. And this is the second to the last slide. There are emerging trends that we have to be aware of. ESG, environmental, social governance, and compliance, is now becoming important. Nagiging important na po yan sa organizations. And moving forward, you will be affected by this. Pangalawa, rising cybersecurity and data protection standards. Let me ask you, sino nakaka-receive sa cellphone ng spam messages every day? There you go, right? There are a lot of data breaches already. And organizations must be able to keep up with this trend. You cannot deny it, nandyan na talaga siya. Would you agree? Can I hear a yes? Yes. You need this already with your organizations moving forward. Last, you need to be adaptive. Kailangan maka-adapt kayo and make yung demand for customer focus and quality-centric business models are essential. Now, last, how can your SME grow and sustain the growth and future-proof your business? need to adopt and leverage international standards. You need to do this. Commit to continuous improvement and excellence, and work on process standardization for profitability-driven performance. Let me end with this. The whole activities, everything that we have done so far in these 2 days. There's been a word na sinasabi sa atin a lot dito sa 2 araw na ito. Find your network, right? Network, right? Agree? Let me use this word. Bayanihan. Oh, there are smiles. Let me use the word bayanihan. We help each other. Don't look at your seatmate. Look at your seatmate. Please do look at your seatmate. They are not your competitor. I'll tell them, you are not my competitor. There you go. They are your partners, future partners. Bayanihan po ito. Now, as an organization, starting organization, who are the organizations that are starting? Yan, meron. Medium, small and medium organizations. Raise your hand. There you go. Why do you need to do these things? First, think about the country. It's economic growth. Kayo ang backbone. Pangalawa, let me be more personal. Think about your family. Your business is not your own already, but it is for your loved ones as well. When you adapt and when you do bayanihan, the businesses will grow and success will be yours. Last words. In growing your business, we are the country's hope as well. The small and medium enterprises is the country's hope. Sino ang hope? Let's be more personal. Look at me in the eye. Ang pag-asa ng Pilipinas is you. Kayo ang pag-asa ng bansa natin. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang Pilipinas.